What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, it's halftime of the Super Bowl as I record this, and hopefully this video is a little bit better than the first half of the Super Bowl, kind of a snooze fest. So I thought, hey, let's go up here. Let's do the Sunland Derby preview. Let's go to Sunday, February 15th. Race 9 on the card. It is the Sunland Derby, $500,000. The purse, of course, at Sunland Park. Field of 8, I'll put them up on the screen for you now. Field of 8 here, going a mile and a 16th. Well, it's I will be very honest. A few of these horses I had not heard of when I started handicapping. So that is a little bit of a problem when you're talking about a Kentucky Derby prep. But let's get to it. Let's get to the number one, and a horse obviously I've heard of because he won one of my favorite races, the Remington Park Springboard Mile last time out. Number one is Express Kid. Express Kid coming in off that win in the Remington Park Springboard Mile. 2 races back, he won an allowance on the turf at Remington as well. And then 5 races back on debut, won a maiden special weight over the dirt. His 2 bad races, or at least losses, one of them came at Prairie Meadows, where he was beaten 3 lengths in a stakes race. And then he was beaten 12 3/4 and finished 6th in a stakes race at Remington Park. Imagine that's why they tried the turf in the next start after those 2 losses where horse just didn't run very well. And, you know, I kind of thought, okay, he's a decent horse here on the turf, and then we go to the Remington Park Springboard Mile and get the job done. New tactics kind of in that race as well. He was able to get to the lead by himself and take him gate to wire. He's the headliner of this field. There's no doubt about it. He's the one you got to beat in this field as well. So, look, I think a horse that can he get that trip again? I think that's the big question mark. Can he get out to the lead by himself? If he can, I think he gets the job done. He draws the rail. I think that's actually good for him. So he's obviously in with a big chance. So he should be the favorite in this one. The number 2 is Sharon's Beach. Sharon's Beach, still a maiden. That's the bad news. On debut, tried the turf and did no running at all. Then tried the dirt. Both these races were at Colonial and got 3rd, beaten 9 1/4. Moved out to Santa Anita for the next start and was able to get 2nd, only beaten a neck in that last start right there at Santa Anita. Yeah, believe it or not, from a speed figure standpoint, he figures to be in the top 3 here. This is still a maiden, but that race at Santa Anita was pretty good. And then the race at Colonial got a decent number as well, at least according to time form. I'm going to stretch out to a mile and a 16th today. Sources by Omaha Beach out of an Into Mischief mare, so should be able to do that. Look, even though still a maiden, I think comes in here with a little bit of a chance to win the race. Johnny Velasquez is going to jump in to ride as well. Pavilionian will be the number 3 horse, number 3 Pavilionian. This is a California bred here. 1 win out of 8 starts. That 1 win came the 2nd race of this horse's career back in June of 2025. Got the job done by a half length. Tried Open Company next at Del Mar. Got 2nd, beaten 8 3/4 behind Desert Gate, who hasn't really was disappointing last time we saw him, which was last weekend in the Robert B. Lewis. Tried Calbred races a few times, just never really did much. 7th, 2nd, didn't finish, like stumbled and lost the jockey. That's not the horse's fault, obviously, there. Then 4th and 3rd. All against Calbred Stakes Company. Now we're here in this spot. I just can't see it. Not today here for this one. I'm not a huge fan of this one coming in to hit this one. All right. The number 4 is 4020. This horse is trained by Robertino Diodoro. Orlando Mojica will get the ride. This is a Candy Ride horse out of a Take Charge Indy mare. So, you would think a mile and a 16th would be right up the alley of 4020. I say that because we've only seen this horse run short. 5.5 furlong maiden special weight on debut at Turf Paradise. Got 2nd, beaten a half length. And then the next race, 2nd start of the career at Turf Paradise, was able to get the job done by 12. Absolutely ran away from a field at 1-9 that day. Was the number 4, 4020. Pretty good race. And obviously, I think that's probably what they thought they were going to get on debut and just didn't get it home. Maybe that horse just needed to start. They wheeled him back in 19 days. And that tells me they kind of thought this was a pretty good horse all along. So, we'll see what happens here with this one. The trainer obviously is, Diodoro is going to do well on this circuit most times out here. So in kind of the Southwest circuit, I guess you could call it. But anyway, I I think this horse is here with a shot. I don't really think you would say that a lot of times, but in a field like this, I think 40-20 does make sense. The number 5 is way beyond Steve Asmussen horse here. Yeah, we've seen this horse, compete here at Sunland. Last time out was in the Riley Allison, and got second, got beat a nose, was a favorite in that spot, ran okay, but just kind of lackluster. 2 races back, got beat 11 and a quarter by Express Kid right there at Remington Park, the Remington Park Springboard Mile. There's just not a lot of races where you love this horse. 7 starts, just 1 win. That 1 win did come in Maiden Claiming Company, although it was $150,000 Maiden Claiming Company, but did get the win there at Churchill Downs by a nose. Really hasn't been close until the nose loss in the Riley Allison. I mean, it's another one just not to get too excited about in this spot. The number 6 is Bricklin, as I had jumped ahead of myself there. Number 6, Bricklin. This is an interesting entry, and I think this one comes in with a little bit of a chance. You look at him last week, he was entered into the Southwest, scratched out of that race to run here, and boy, that looks like a very smart decision. Southwest would have been tough for Bricklin, but I think this is a really good spot. Kind of a Jekyll and Hyde horse. 4 starts, 2 wins, and 2 totally off the board finishes. 6th on debut, then 1 at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and then 6th in the street since 2 races back before winning an allowance last time out by 3 1/4. So look out for this one. I think he's in here with a shot. I didn't think he was completely impossible last time, or if he would have entered the Southwest. I did not use him, to be clear, but I didn't think he was impossible. That last race at Oakland Park was pretty good. He's just kind of, you don't really know when he's going to run that race. And I think that's just kind of the thing with him. You're just going to have to kind of guess on when he's going to run that big race. I don't know. I think this is a really good spot for him. I would give him a shot in this one. The number 7 is Danico. This is a horse that is coming in off of the win in the Riley Allison Derby last time out, won by a nose at odds of 9-2. I didn't love it, but you don't love much in this race. So this horse maybe figures to have a little bit of a chance here. This horse is by Vacoma out of a Gio Ponte mare. The Gio Ponte on the bottom probably explains why they tried the turf 2 times. This horse actually broke the maiden on the turf 3 races back at Turf Paradise before going back to the dirt. And then Vacoma on the top, you kind of think miler, and the mile is the longest we've seen him, and that was last time out in the Riley Allison Derby. I'm just going to not play either horse that's coming out of that race. Honestly, I didn't love it. I didn't love either one of them. They both should be here because that was a local prep, and they finished a nose apart, right? So they both should be here. I'm just a little skeptical of the talent level of those horses. And then finally, another maiden here, Buntus for Folklora, Buntus Folklora, let's call him that. This horse, 5 starts, 0 victories, 1 second, 2/3. This horse is by 1,000 words out of an include mare. There's not a ton to kind of get just real pumped about. Last time out was 3rd at Aqueduct in a maiden special weight, beat 4 3/4. 2 races back was 2nd, beaten 5 3/4 by Schoolyard Superman, who came back to do no running in the Withers. The 3rd place finisher, Mr. Miracle, came back to run 3rd at a maiden special weight at Gulfstream Park. So that wasn't much there. Got beat 15 lengths, 3 races back to Rebel Instinct and Hadrian's Wall. Not much there. I'm just, on debut got beat by Universe, a horse that hasn't come back to run all that well either. So, yeah, I don't know. There's just not a whole lot to get excited about here in this spot. It's probably, one of the weaker spots. Honestly, the horses ran. He's been up against some decent maidens and nothing great, but some that, the winners of those races I was talking about, they probably would fit in okay here. So not without a chance, but still not a whole lot to get just real excited about. All right, that's the field. And yeah, like I said, I mean, this isn't much. The field of 8 here, not a whole lot to look at. I think it's Express Kid is like very logical horse. I mean, to win the race last time out there, the Remington Park Springboard Mile by 6 1/4. I'm going to go with him on top. Number 1, Express Kid. I do think the number 6, Bricklin's going to be in with a chance. I've got him at 2nd. That's probably the only 2 I'll use in multi-races. Probably just the 1 Express Kid and the 6, Bricklin. I went 1, 6, 2, 8 in this race, 1628. So the Remington Park Springboard Mile winner, the recent allowance winner, and then 2 maidens. So 1628 for me in here. That is 1 Express Kid, 6 Brooklyn, number 2 Sharon's Beach, and number 8 Buntus Folklora. So there it is. That's it. Yeah, not the greatest field. I don't know that we've got a Derby contender. Maybe if Express Kid can kind of repeat what he did in the Springboard Mile, he can maybe be a contender. But other than that, there's just not a whole lot in this race. So that'll do it for our preview of the Sunland Derby. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerting time we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're playing Sunland on Sunday.